Level A2. The Frog Prince. The Frog Prince. Part 1. Once upon a time, in a large and beautiful castle, there lived a young princess. She was the only child of the king, and he loved her very much. The princess had many wonderful things: pretty dresses, shiny shoes, soft toys, and sparkling jewels. But her favorite thing in the whole world was a small golden ball. It was round, smooth, and bright like the sun. She carried it everywhere she went. Every afternoon, the princess liked to play in the castle garden. The garden was full of tall trees, colorful flowers, and singing birds. In the middle of the garden, there was a deep, dark well made of old stones. The princess often played near the well, even though it looked mysterious and a little scary. One sunny afternoon, the princess threw her golden ball high into the air. She liked to see it shine in the sunlight, but this time she threw it too high. The ball fell to the ground, bounced once, and rolled straight toward the well. Before she could catch it, the ball dropped over the edge and disappeared inside. The princess ran to the well and looked down. The inside was dark and deep. She could not see the bottom, and she could not hear the ball hit the water. It was gone. The princess sat down on the grass and began to cry. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Oh no," she said sadly. "My beautiful golden ball. I will never see it again." As she cried, she suddenly heard a small voice. "Why are you crying, princess?" She looked around in surprise. Sitting on a stone near the well was a green frog. His skin was shiny, his eyes were big and round, and he looked at her with curiosity. "I lost my golden ball," the princess said. "It fell into the well, and I cannot get it back." The frog thought for a moment. Then he said, "I can get your ball for you." The princess stopped crying. "Really? You can?" she asked. "Yes," the frog said. "But what will you give me in return?" The princess did not want to make a deal with a frog. She did not like frogs at all, but she wanted her ball back more than anything. So she said quickly, "I will give you anything you want. Jewels, clothes, food, anything." The frog shook his head. "I do not want jewels or clothes," he said. "I want to be your friend. I want to eat from your plate, drink from your cup, and sleep on your pillow." The princess felt uncomfortable. She did not want a frog near her food or in her room, but she wanted her ball back. So she said, "Yes, yes, whatever you want. Just bring me my ball." The frog nodded and jumped into the well. The princess waited impatiently. After a short time, the frog came back up with the golden ball in his mouth. He dropped it on the grass. The princess grabbed the ball happily. "Thank you," she said. But she did not wait for the frog. She ran back to the castle as fast as she could. She did not want to spend time with a frog, even if she had made a promise. That evening, the princess sat at the long table with her father, the king. They were eating dinner when suddenly there was a knock at the door. Tap, tap, tap. A servant opened the door, and the frog hopped inside. He looked at the princess and said, "Princess, you promised to be my friend. You said I could eat from your plate and drink from your cup." The king looked at his daughter. "Is this true?" he asked. The princess turned red. "Yes, father," she said quietly. "But I didn't think he would come." "A promise is a promise," the king said. "You must keep your word." The princess felt sick, but she nodded. She let the frog sit next to her. He ate from her plate and drank from her cup. She tried not to look at him, but she felt disgusted. After dinner, the frog said, "Now I want to sleep on your pillow." The princess was angry, But the king repeated, "A promise is a promise." She picked up the frog with 2 fingers and carried him to her room. She put him on a small pillow in the corner, far away from her bed. But the frog said, "No, I want to sleep on your pillow." The princess felt her anger grow. If you like this story, please click like. It helps me a lot. And if you want more easy English stories, you can subscribe. Thank you for learning with me, The Frog Prince. Part 2. The princess stood in her room, holding the frog in her hands. She felt angry, embarrassed, and tired of the whole situation. She had never imagined that a simple promise about a golden ball would lead to this. She wanted to scream, but she remembered her father's words. A promise is a promise. Still, she did not want a frog sleeping on her soft, clean pillow. She placed the frog gently on a small pillow in the corner of the room. "You can sleep here," she said firmly. "This is close enough." But the frog shook his head. "No," he said calmly. "You promised that I could sleep on your pillow. I want to sleep next to you, on your bed." The princess felt her face grow hot with frustration. She had tried to be polite, but now she felt she could not take it anymore. She picked up the frog again, and this time she threw him against the wall. "Leave me alone," she shouted. But the moment the frog hit the wall, something magical happened. Instead of falling to the floor, he changed shape. There was a bright flash of light, and suddenly, standing in front of her, was not a frog, but a handsome young prince. The princess gasped. She could not believe her eyes. The prince had kind eyes, dark hair, and a gentle smile. He bowed politely and said, "Do not be afraid. A wicked witch turned me into a frog long ago. She said I would remain a frog until a princess kept a promise with courage. You have broken the spell." The princess felt surprised, confused, and a little embarrassed. She had thrown him at the wall, after all. But the prince did not seem angry. He looked grateful. "I must thank you," he said. "You helped me become myself again." The princess slowly smiled. I didn't mean to help you like that," she admitted. "But I'm glad you're not a frog anymore." The prince laughed softly. "So am I." The next morning, the prince invited the princess to visit his kingdom. He explained that he was the son of a great king who lived far away, beyond the forest. His parents had been searching for him for many years. Now that the spell was broken, he wanted to return home. And he wanted the princess to come with him. The princess agreed. She felt curious about his kingdom, and she liked the prince more and more. They rode together in a golden carriage sent by the prince's family. When they arrived at his castle, the king and queen welcomed them with open arms. They were overjoyed to see their son again. The princess stayed in the castle as an honored guest. She and the prince spent many days walking in the gardens, talking about their lives and learning about each other. The prince was kind, patient, and brave. The princess was clever, honest, and full of energy. They became close friends, and soon their friendship grew into love. The prince asked the princess if she would like to stay in his kingdom forever. She said yes. The two families celebrated with a great feast. People from all over the land came to see the princess and the prince together. They danced, laughed, and enjoyed delicious food. In time, the princess and the prince were married. They ruled the kingdom with kindness and fairness. The princess never forgot the lesson she had learned. Sometimes help comes from the most unexpected places, and sometimes a promise can change a life. As for the golden ball, the princess kept it safely in her room. She no longer needed it to feel happy. She had found something far more precious, a true friend and a loving partner. And so, the princess and the prince lived happily ever after, just as all good fairy tales promise. If you like this story, please click like. It helps me a lot. And if you want more easy English stories, you can subscribe. Thank you for learning with me.